Hey guys, Brian here of Gaming Center CX, and today I'm going to be talking about some things in regards to Nintendo's stance on region locking on their consoles on the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS systems. In a statement from in an interview with IGN, Nintendo global president Satoru Iwata said, "For some people's perspectives, it might seem like a kind of restriction. However, we hope we can appreciate the fact that we're selling our products worldwide. There are many different regions around the world, and each region has its own cultural acceptance and legal restrictions, as well as different age ratings. There are always things that we're required to do in each region, which may go counter to the idea that players around the world want the freedom to play whatever they want. I hope the game fans can understand that the industry isn't doing this solely out of business ego. There's some reasons behind it." I don't know if you know this, Mr. Iwata, but Microsoft and Sony's Xbox One and PS4 are region free, and Nintendo with their Wii U and 3DS consoles are pretty much behind on the times, like a little bit, like they usually are. It's just that I mean, you guys are falling behind on your times as a game company when it comes to region locks and everything. I mean, with the Nintendo DS and other consoles back, those were completely region free. You didn't have to worry about whether you could play your Japanese Pokemon games on your Game Boy or your on your DS Lite or anything. Hell, I could even, like, there's a game I really wanted to play on the DS. On the DS, it was Retro Game Challenge. It was Arno Chosenjo 2, which is the sequel to the Game Center CX game, which was released here but didn't really sell well because not a lot of people bought it. So I am actually able to go buy the Japanese version of Arno's Challenge 2 and play that on my 3DS because it's a DS game and that's not region locked. But for if I wanted to play like a 3DS game that comes out in Japan, like let me think, like a Tomodachi Collection or the Japanese version of or like if I wanted to get an eShop game or something like Chibi Robo, the new Chibi Robo photograph game, I couldn't play that on my system because I have an American console. And that really pisses me off because I want to be able to play these games. And all these people are saying, "Oh, if you bought the Japanese game and just played it on your American console, if it was region free, you wouldn't buy it would like lead to a market where these games wouldn't even get localized." That's a bunch of crap. You don't know what you're talking about. This came from a quote from Josh Thompson, Thomas's video, also known as Wii Folder Josh, who runs the BitBlock. And he said, like, he pretty much compared the region locking debate. He said, what was it? Like, just because all the other consoles are doing it doesn't mean Nintendo has to do it. He gave the comparison, like, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you? I mean, that's a kind of a terrible comparison. I mean, looking at this as a business standpoint, Nintendo is definitely behind on the times with region locking. It just doesn't make sense. Let me read a quote that let me just find it here first, though. I just want to really read a quote that I had. I posted it somewhere. Just give me 1 second. This is going to take a minute. And as I was saying, it's just that with region locking and everything, it's going to be terrible for people who actually just want to play Japanese games, and they like to play these a little bit earlier than most people. It's not a matter of impatience like some people are saying. It's just that some people believe that some people don't give a shit about regions. Just don't give a shit about region locking, which is terrible because if a person buys a game from a different region and they want to get this localized, they will definitely speak up and say, "Hey, I played this game like with your region lock system, region free system, I should say. I played this game with your region free system, and I think we should have this in America. It would be really great." And And here's my quote from Josh Thomas's video. It said, Josh Thomas in the video is guilty of the same thing he's attributing to the people he disagrees with. He was not truly looking at the real reasons region locking is bad for the consumers. We live in an increasingly global connected world, not just the internet, but people's locations as well. You shouldn't have to worry if what you're buying will work on your system when you're buying something for it. I want you to buy it regardless of the region it was intended for. If it has the content sufficient for you, you should be able to get it. Also, it mentioned how localizations may stop if region locking were dropped, which when that's not when that's just quite frankly not true. He's looking too much at the current market model that won't apply once region free is the norm. It should be common practice for games to be released in a global version afterwards, including content for all regions they release in. If they decide to release in additional regions, they can release DLC packs to be available for the additional regions, which is including the new region's content and all future prints of the game. Obviously, region-specific games will still exist, but you get them knowing full well they aren't localized for your region, and that the global version may come down later the line and you'll have to purchase the localized content once released. Seriously, it's about adaptation. If Nintendo doesn't adapt, they'll be left behind. Their existing strategy will only take them so far. Seriously, Nintendo is definitely going to get left behind if they continue their region lock practices. And frankly, I do not want to see Nintendo get left behind. I've been a fan of Nintendo for ever since I got my original game. Ever since I got my Game Boy Color back on my birthday, and I've always loved them ever since. I love the Mario games, I love Zelda, Pokemon, and everything. I don't want to see Nintendo get left behind, and in order for them not to get left behind, they need to really change their practices in regards to region locking on their consoles. And frankly, I feel like they're just pretty much giving us some BS answers with their PR and everything. I feel like they say it's not that easy. They have to do the ratings and everything. I mean, you could easily include those rating explanations with a system update. Like when you go into parental controls and everything, it tells you the ratings. Just give us the ratings for every single region and tell us exactly what they mean. I mean, parents look at these, well, not more so. Actually, yeah, some parents actually do look at these, but when they're going to GameStop, they just buy whatever the hell they want. But in all honesty, I don't think that the parental controls thing is a really good argument for region locking at all. I mean, what kid do you know is going to import a game to get around parental controls at all? I mean, most people who import a game are either in their teens or they're adults and really want to play a game that never got released here, like Captain Rainbow for the Wii, or some of the Club Nintendo games, like I think it was the Beetle Racing Excitebot type thing that they released for Club Nintendo in Japan. And also, another argument against region locking is that this is going to lead more people to trying to hack into their systems in order to create a region-free patch or a region-free mod in order to play region games from any region. This happened with the Wii. We have a mod that allows for the console to be region-free, and that also somewhat led into piracy. And anytime you're going to have a hack that allows for, like, not check for the region of the disc, is going to lead for people to be able to play copied games or lead into something that's going to ultimately ruin the console. I mean, if we can have Nintendo officially release a region-free patch, that would be fantastic. We wouldn't have to have an argument. We wouldn't have to worry about them worrying about piracy and how the developers are worried that their games won't sell enough because somebody pirated this so many freaking times. In all honesty, I feel Nintendo really needs to step up their game with their region. Needs to step up their game and get rid of the region blocking on their consoles. And if they do this, then we're going to be fine throughout the entire console generation. And it's possible that Nintendo is going to be able to release more games from different regions, and they're going to be able to localize more stuff more or less. Alright guys, this is Brian of Gaming Center CX. I hope you can, actually, I'm not over yet. Down in the description I'll be posting a link to a petition for against Nintendo's region blocking. And if you guys could sign that, that'd be pretty awesome. We need to let Nintendo hear our voices against region locking. Also, go on Miiverse if you have a Nintendo Network account. Tell them, Nintendo, in any of the communities that you can, tell them, hey, I don't want region locking on my consoles. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One doesn't have region locking. Why should Nintendo consoles have it? Alright guys, link will be in the description for the petition. I'm Brian of Gaming Center CX. You guys have a wonderful day.